Okay, we're coming into week 4 of our group challenge for February. Wait, yeah, February. Jeez, forgot what month we were in. It's
It's
March
March.
already. My gosh,
Yes.
I know. Good thing we have calendars because we wouldn't know. We would not even know.
I know we had to move the clocks up. I was like, already? Like, what?
Yeah,
It's time?
I
Spring
know.
break.
I
But
know.
it'll be
Welcome.
nice this evening.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I welcome it. It just seemed to kind of creep up.
It was
Mm.
weird. It was weird this morning too because I woke up and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm taking care of Sissy's dogs. So I had to get up and go get them because I leave them at the house at night because they're right here and I don't have to bring them back here. And so I woke up and I saw the sun and I go, oh my gosh, I took because I went back to bed and it was the most disorienting thing. I said, oh my gosh, what time is it? Because the light and but yeah, so it's gonna be good. I feel you can feel the spring today. It's so
Oh,
beautiful.
yeah. Big time. Big
Everyone.
time. It's going to be a beautiful week.
Mm-hmm.
Hooray.
Yeah.
Yes,
Use it.
I think
we
we
need
saw
it.
enough rain for a little bit
Mm-hmm.
I hope so.
after
Yeah,
the snow.
it needs to dry out. We need to
Yeah.
dry out for sure. So I wanted to coming into the 4th week, I wanted to spend a little time on um we'll do our report cards, but also just spend some time on the food piece because I know that now we are coming into a new season of eating. So we're leaving winter and we're going to come into spring. And this is when the diet starts to change, um, or requirements for our body starts to change. The food starts to change. What's seasonal is going to change. And I don't know if about you guys, but I'm already feeling a difference in what I want to eat. Um, I went to the grocery store and I bought like, I'm just kind of thinking salads now. I'm just getting, it's kind of cool, right? Like as soon as the weather
Yeah.
changes, right, you start craving different stuff. And so this is a great time to consider, the in Ayurveda, you can do a spring cleanse. So you could do a couple days of khichdi to kind of like get your body reset. It kind of helps to calm things down and get you transitioned because we are going to be starting to introduce different foods to the body because that's just what's going on with the season and what we're going to be feeling like eating. And so that it could just be like so more raw food, right? We're coming off cooked and you start getting into more raw food and a lot of times the body goes, "Whoa, wait a minute, this raw food." So it's really important to understand how to navigate the raw food coming into the diet. And in food combining rules, um, they really talk about not combining raw and cooked. Now, if you think about like how we all eat, right? What do? Order a salad and we have dinner. But all these rules are meant to be individualized, kind of. These are guidelines. So it really just depends on how it affects you personally. So um, the Europeans eat salad at the end of the meal. Not sure why they do that, but maybe they're into all the gastro stuff too in a different way. But sometimes, and making, so when you do combine cooked and raw, think about maybe having less. So don't go for like a big salad, go for like a little smaller salad. I mean, when you think about like how it used to be in the restaurants, in everything with all the portions were so small, like they were so
Yeah.
much smaller, right? Everything's been supersized on us. And I mean, now the salad you order like as big as your entire body, and you're like, how am I supposed to even eat this? But getting a smaller dinner size salad with the cooked food, or maybe even having just a salad for dinner, and then of course, the cooked food in the salad, the shrimp or the chicken or the steak or whatever, that's kind of a small portion. I mean, it's not huge. And then knowing that we talked about this last time, some of the stuff that really trips you up is the hidden stuff. Maybe it's like a raw onion or it's the cheese, and then there's a bean in there. So a lot of the times the combination foods can really trip you up and you don't even know what's really bothering you. Like you don't even know, gosh, what am I really allergic to? Because it's really an allergy in the body, whether anything that's disturbing the body or disturbing digestion is seen by the body as an allergy. It like rejects it. So just getting kind of clear about that, just kind of being aware as we start to eat more raw, you may want to just keep an eye on combinations even more. And fruit, of course, keep the fruit separate, unless you are okay with it. Like maybe you okay with a handful of blueberries on a salad, maybe that doesn't bother you. So, but it's just good just to be aware of this stuff so that when we start transitioning, we can be mindful in how we're eating, and then we're not getting to get bloated or get upset in our bodies. So that's the first thing I'll say about the whole change of season. And then how have you guys been feeling? Are you guys feeling the same way about how are you starting to think about foods differently, or start to crave it, moving away from like a heavier meal to the lighter meals now? Has that hit you yet?
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, towards the end of the last week, it was, we had a couple of days that even though it was raining, the temperatures were better. And I don't know, it just affects you like that.
Yeah.
I wasn't pulling my crock pot out.
Yeah, I like I have my Instapot still out, but I'm not really thinking about putting anything heavy in there right now. So Jean, how you feeling? Same?
I eat a lot of like raw fruits and vegetables all year round. So
Oh.
that doesn't bother me. And that's not really a transition for me. However, I do tend to crave like the pot roast and stuff like that, in the winter. And it's nice to kind of get away from that to things that are lighter,
Yeah. And I did see like the corned beef. I never make corned beef, but like it is I saw it yesterday and I was like, gosh, I really want to make one of those. I've never made one. And I was like thinking it's St. Patrick's Day would be kind of fun. And I'm a meat eater, so I like
Plus
brisket.
sauerkraut with it. It's so good for you.
Yeah.
Sauerkraut is really good.
Very good. Yeah, that's great. Any fermented food like the kimchi or the kraut or anything fermented is so good for us. So that's a good thing to get into your diet. If you're not into all that stuff, it'd be nice to start to slowly introduce that back into the diet. Yeah, it's really good for us. So what I thought would be really fun is we can go just spend a little bit of time before we do our report card, but this will be kind of report card-ish for our nutrition. But like just go through and let's all brainstorm different, and you guys could take a piece of paper or make notes or whatever, just do 3 columns. I actually wanted to build this list and put it on the resource page for future. Just like breakfast items, lunch items, dinner items, and then just being creative about how to pair, the main item, so keeping protein as your superstar. And then what do you pair it with to try to level up the protein in that meal? Because there are ways to do that. And, and then this is a report card item. First of all, like I'll just ask this right now. You can answer yes, no. Is that, are you hitting are you having trouble hitting your protein number?
Yes.
Tell me what your protein number is, first of all, and then tell me if you're having trouble hitting it. Jean?
I don't know. I don't know exactly what my protein number is. I mean, I know you had recommended very high levels, higher than I usually do. And I only eat 2 meals a day because I do the fasting, the 16-hour fast. So I try to get a minimum of 60. I know I should get more than that.
Yeah.
But I would like to know how to better incorporate more protein into what I'm currently eating, because I try to get at least like 30 grams per meal.
Okay.
So yeah, that's kind of where I am. It's a struggle getting enough protein.
Yeah. Okay. So let me just make a note here. 2 meals, 30. Okay. I'll ask you more questions when you report. Okay. BA, how are you doing?
Yeah, I mean you really have to focus on the measurements and I was even that part now that I'm really more in tune to it.
Mhm.
I can't say that I always knew I had to eat a lot of protein because
Yeah.
it's good for you, but I was never consciously saying, oh, I only got 20 in at breakfast or 30
Mhm.
in at lunch. Um, so it takes a little bit of work to kind of really figure it all out.
Yeah, it
But
does.
yeah, but I would say on average about 75,
Okay. How many meals do you eat a day?
like two and a half. Well, I shouldn't say that.
What's that half meal?
No, I shouldn't say that. I guess 3 meals. Yeah,
Hmm.
3 meals. Just one may be light, like a lighter.
Yeah, but it's still a meal.
Yeah, but right.
Okay.
That's why I'm rethinking my
Okay.
comment.
And what do you think, honestly, what do you think I mean, if you had to just not, what do you think each meal you're getting, what's your protein number you think you're getting?
I like 25.
Okay.
I may do like I may get 30 or 35 on one and then only 15 on one.
Okay. So you're probably averaging about 75 a day.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you supplement at all? Besides, I know you do collagen, which is you can count that. I mean, it's a different kind of protein, but it definitely counts. Some people say it doesn't count to the number, but it can.
Okay, I wasn't that's a good point. I wasn't counting that. And I do the protein powder, just not every day. I've been kind of like alternating.
That's good. Actually, you don't want to do that as much as, yeah,
Okay.
too much. It's like
Just
too
because figuring out things with my digestion and all that.
exactly. And it can be tough on your kidneys and it can be tough on your gut. It really can. It's a process thing, right? It's better
Yeah,
to eat whole or do a non-digestible
right.
protein like the amino acids. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And then
What
you,
what would you and I can't remember what you said we should be averaging 30 a meal?
yeah, well, it depends. Like Jean's only eating 2 meals a day, so
Right.
it's hard to get that number with 2 meals a day because it's hard to get all that protein
Yeah.
in a sitting. But I'm going to help you a little bit about that.
Okay.
But I would say that, if you want to try to get to 100.
Okay.
Um, and you can do that with food and supplementation. So,
Can I ask you a question about that?
yeah,
Because I have not just recently, but I had been using Perfect Amino,
yeah,
and taking that.
yep.
Um, how does that play into this whole thing about getting enough protein?
Yeah, great question. So, it is not considered a protein. It bypasses the digestive tract altogether. It's a
Right.
non-digestible, right? You know that it's bioavailable. Amino acids are the building blocks for everything in the body. So what it does is it goes in and then it's available for the body to use to make tissue. So some people will say you can count it as a serving of protein, like 25 grams. Yeah, you could say that. You could say, yeah, at least I feel good about the supplementation piece because it's definitely available for the body to use. So that's why I like using that. I use I think last time I showed you guys Thorn and I put it in, okay?
Right.
That
Yeah.
amino complex. I'm using
Hmm.
that now because I went to a nutritional functional medicine person and they recommended that particular brand. Only
Okay.
because Perfect Amino is a proprietary blend. You don't really know how much you're getting in there, and it tastes kind of bitter. Did you notice
I
that,
just
Gene, about
take the pills.
oh, okay. So that isn't an issue there. But the Thorn is more I think it's recommended by the functional crowd as a more of a
Mhm.
reliable brand. I would I was gonna say you could supplement with that twice a day. So, just throw it in your water, or if you prefer the pills, take the pills, but that's going to get you a little bit more closer to where you are. And then I'll talk to you a little bit about we'll talk about the intermittent fasting window. Well, I might as well just talk about it right now. So I mean, 16 hours is a big window. And are you just not feeling like you want to eat in the morning, or you just don't, what is your goal for the 16-hour window?
Well, I guess it's just I guess the theory is that it's more a cleansing thing that gives your liver an opportunity to work everything out, before you start in again. Um, and I don't particularly miss breakfast, but
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I get it. I think you can train your body to do that. You're not really going into autophagy, is what it's called. That's like the scrubbing. You have to really do it a lot longer than that, I think, to get, I think here's the thing. It's healthy, healthy, healthy to do intermittent fasting. You're definitely giving your body a chance to repair. But as a menopausal woman, it's really more important that we get our protein in because
okay.
skeletal muscle, falls and breaks, dementia, heart, all that stuff is more important than preventing all that with your diet being adequate is more important, I think, than maybe that you're only talking about, you're getting, I mean, even if you do a 14-hour window, right? And you try to get at least one more protein serving in there, that's the way you could do it.
Yep.
Suggestion, and it doesn't have to be a giant. You could, do you tolerate yogurt, cottage cheese?
Oh yeah. I eat a lot of cottage cheese.
Damn straight. I do too. I love it.
Me too.
Um, it's so good. That's what you could do. You could just do a serving, get like 20 grams of protein in first thing in the morning. That's going to help you fuel for your walks and all that stuff, that would bump you up. Like then you would be at 60, 70, 80, you'd be at 80, and then you could supplement with the aminos.
hmm
You know?
That sounds doable.
Yeah. Okay, cool. The other thing was going to say is that the way that you can get more for your, like more bang for your buck without feeling that is like sometimes the bigger protein servings is you can put a blob of cottage cheese on your meal. Like if you're doing like I just did a tofu bowl just now. I did a tofu bowl with vegetables and I put a whole serving of cottage cheese on the top. And I had some curry spice in there. And that
hmm
gave me, I just counted it out. It gave me um like 35 grams right there, right? So 35 grams. So I was like, all right, yeah, that was good. I needed that because
Yeah.
eating lunch,
I like,
like, right? So
yep.
you can bump it with a blob of cottage cheese, like a cup is, or whatever the serving is. But
Yeah.
same,
And Greek yogurt. I like slapping
and
Greek
same
yogurt
with,
on stuff too.
that's right. And same with yogurt. You get rid of sour cream. Obviously, that's, you can plug in the
Yep.
Greek yogurt. Now you're
hmm
getting protein. So you can get really creative with those two items right there, especially if you tolerate them,
Yep.
They're pretty tolerable. I mean, yogurt's really not in the same, it's kind of not in the same category as dairy, even though it is dairy, but it's not,
hmm
it hits you different, right? It's probiotic, it's great. The other thing you could do is you drink coffee.
Sometimes, but decaf.
Okay. So then you could also do, you can get fancy with like doing a fun little latte in the morning. You could do, right? You could do
So that,
the,
I have a question for you.
yeah.
So I had gotten like I get a non-fat decaf latte, okay, at Starbucks, let's say. And so the last time I had that, I tried their protein foam that they
Oh,
put
I
on.
saw that advertised. How was it?
I tried it. It was okay because they're all like flavored. So I had the vanilla because I figured that was probably the most, conservative or whatever. And it wasn't bad, but I figured, not that's not my way of choice to get more
Yeah.
protein, I don't think. But I do get the skim milk.
Well,
Anyway.
the other thing you could do there too is I know there's I'll put the link. There's apparently a chocolate flavored electrolyte through I think it's through Perfect Amino. Actually, it might be Perfect Aminos. They have a chocolate. And
hmm
my friend Kathy makes she'll make a power latte in the morning. She does like mushroom coffee and then she'll do the electrolyte, protein in there and she whips it up and she said it's freaking great. And so
Mhm.
that's like a protein bump for you, you do the
Yeah.
and then the chocolate, it's like another way to the get in more. But I mean, I really am not a huge advocate about all the supplementation with that kind of stuff because I feel like it's just more processed. And again, they're talking about how all these powders and stuff, like what is that even doing to us,
Mhm.
right? Trying to keep it really whole food oriented and then use the real supplementations that are
Just
sort of
kind of
tried
as an added, but yeah,
as an added, but not as a replacement.
right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the key because you still need, again, I do like aminos because you're not wasting, you don't have to digest it, right? So, all right. Okay, Maria, what do you how many meals a day do you do and what do you think your protein is?
I do 3 meals a day, and I am sure I'm not getting as much protein as you're recommending because I don't eat a lot of meat.
Mhm.
Um, and so I'm probably only getting maybe 40 grams a day,
Woo.
would be my guess.
Okay. Well, you might be
Pardon?
pleasantly surprised. I'm going to show you this thing right here. Um, share. I found this. Remember last week I said I couldn't find that protein thing? Let me find this thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I found it. Oh, where is my, there we go. This up here. This is under the resource tab under eat, drink. I'll just do it. Okay, now let me get back over here. Share the screen. Okay. Now, Maria, you're listening, right? You can't see?
Correct.
Okay, that's okay. I'll send you this. But it's on this, okay, the resource page. Remember, I couldn't find it last week. So this is the resource page at the very tippy top under your daily diet. There's a Vitalate blueprint, and then underneath says eat and drink clean. Click on that. And that gives you all the macro stuff, the list, all your whole foods, all that stuff, right? Oh, wait, you can't see that. Sorry. Like it gives you a whole list about eating clean, whole foods. You guys can read through all that. It's like the healthy grains, But then, the whole thing about coffee. If you want to do bulletproof coffee when you're intermittent fasting, that's a great way to keep yourself satiated and in your window. Alcohol is a toxin. We know that. And then meals to break fast, just some ideas. But really, the chart is down here, which I found. Okay. It's Maria, it's a high protein plant source chart.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And I think you might be more surprised that you might be getting more protein than you think you are because it's got, and the way you can use this chart, ladies, and this is a great way to supplement. So we're talking about supplementing on to our protein superstar. Animal protein is really is actually it's a great source for muscle repair. But the plant-based, I mean, there are people that are vegetarians that are weight training and they look great. So and they're getting they're getting a great result. But animal protein is really good for muscle. But if you don't eat meat, then here's your sources for plant-based protein, which is great. And they're pretty high. And then here's your veggies down here. So high veggies, Brussels sprouts, spinach. Now 3 grams, you have to eat like your body weight to get anything. But I'm just saying, it adds up. I don't know what these vegetarians are thinking. Yeah. But just to give you guys I don't know what this is. Maria, do you know what C10 is?
Yeah, it's like a fermented tofu.
Oh, cool. Wow, you get 75 grams of in 75 grams is let's see, let me do the conversion. So a cup of 75 grams, hold on. Proteins per 100 grams. So you have to like do the conversion, like you have to ask Grok or whatever, ChatGPT. You have to say how much protein is in 14 grams of quinoa, right? Or how much, so like for instance, oats. I think it was a cup of oats is 100 grams. 100 grams of protein is not what we're thinking it is. Hold on. How did I do this chart yesterday? I just figured it out. Per 100 grams. That can't be right. Am I thinking about this right? Oh yeah, so 14 grams. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. 14. Okay, that's what I asked. 14 grams of quinoa. Okay, so say you're trying to get 100 grams of protein in a day, right? So you're looking at this chart and you're going, okay, if I eat this little pile of quinoa is 14 grams. Okay, then I asked Grok, I said, how does a cup, how many grams of proteins in a cup of quinoa, right? So then that's how you know how much you need to eat to get your portion, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're just giving you like basic, they're giving you ideas here. So you need to just ask, like, these black beans are not saying how much you got to eat to get 8 grams, right? It's probably a half a cup. So I'll go through, you got to just go through here and ask. But I think like 17 grams of 17 grams of protein in I think it's a cup and a half of oats.
And it would be on the package. It'll tell you. So
Yep.
you would know, like on the
Serving
camera.
size. Mm-hmm.
That's right. Sometimes like on the serving size, but sometimes it's a little bit tough to read. So
Yeah, I agree.
and yeah, you can go through and you can just ask Grok or GPT, just say, how many grams of protein are in a cup of quinoa, cooked quinoa, right? So that then, so now when you're thinking about your meal, well, there's an extra 14 grams right there. You could do a
Okay.
piece of chicken and then, so there for you, Maria, this list is good because you could take that and then you can just pile on your vegetables. And I'm assuming you're doing beans too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like you could do beans and quinoa, beans and buckwheat, or their whole list is
Yeah.
lentils, and it's giving you chia seeds are really high. Now they're also high in fat too, but you got to eat a lot of chia seeds to get 17 grams. I'll tell you that right now.
Recording in progress.
Or like spinach. So anyway, you could do combination meals is what I'm getting at here. And
Yeah.
it really does add up. Like you said, BA, it's like you really have to think about this stuff. And when you really start thinking about it and getting sort of your go-tos in your brain, and then it's not as hard.
And the more you do it, it just becomes part of your routine.
That's right.
What I'm finding.
Yeah.
I'm not, leaving myself notes
all over the place. And the key, right. And the key is really just keeping it simple.
Yeah.
So, I know everybody likes variety, but I really do think that when you're really trying to accomplish a goal, just keep your daily diet simple so you can get it done, get your nutrients in, and then, you want variety. Maybe you pick one meal a day to have variety, or you say, one day a week I'm going out, or save that for go out and get a nice meal somewhere, because the daily diet should just be like, let me just get this done. Let me get it done. Let me stay organized and get my macros in. Macros are carbs, protein, fiber, fat. Those are your four macronutrients. Fat's the only thing that doesn't, I think it's fat and fiber that doesn't affect our insulin. Carbs and protein do. What does that mean? Well, it means like that's why you can have a bulletproof coffee, theoretically, because that doesn't really hit your insulin. So bulletproof coffee is like coffee with that coconut oil, and you blend it up in the morning if you're trying to make it through your eating till you eat. And fiber is another one that's really good. So if you're not supplementing fiber, you can do that. You can start doing that. You could start putting fiber, sprinkling fiber on stuff. Because fiber is a really good macro to get in. It's like things you're supposed to be getting 25 grams of fiber every day. So like 100 grams of protein, 25 grams of fiber. And then the carbohydrates, you kind of have to go by your activity level. And remember, our brains need carbohydrate. Our brains need the fuel. So you start to feel foggy. It's probably because you're not getting enough carbohydrates. Because your sugar, or you have an imbalance too. You could just be foggy. You could be having a insulin rush. So let's go through. Did I get everybody? Who's on? Crystal? I don't see you, but are you on?
Here.
The little voice from beyond.
Where am I? Oh no, I'm lost.
Okay. Well, okay, what I was asking everybody was how many meals do you eat a day? And what do you think and how much protein do you think you're getting?
It's a really interesting question. I mean, I feel like I'm eating things with protein, but I have not been measuring.
How many meals do you eat?
Another interesting question, because
Are you a
I
grazer?
love when we all start thinking, we're like, well,
I know.
it makes me feel good. I'm not alone on things.
No, I know. I get you. I get it.
well, I do the intermittent fasting, but I
What do
do the my coffee in the morning is oh hell, what do I put in it? Coffee. For some reason I've been enjoying half and half in my coffee here lately. I used to do bulletproof,
Yeah.
but I mean half and half, and collagen and cardamom. I love cardamom powder in my coffee for some reason. And it actually has, you never hear about it, but it actually has some nutritional qualities as well.
Well, it tastes good, and it's nice.
Yeah,
An
yeah.
Indian coffee.
And, a little bit of grass-fed butter. And so,
Yeah.
that's my morning, but I just don't get hungry in the morning.
Okay. What is your intermittent fasting window? When do you stop? Like, what's Jean said hers is 16 hours. I know she knows it. What is
Another interesting question. It's like I'm trying to stop eating by 7. But it's hard. It's not that I'm hungry in the evening, but it's like I need a little something something. And it's not that I eat bad. I'll have pistachios or
You're okay. That's good. Yeah.
but it often goes on longer than it should. But I'm working on myself to stop
good.
eating by 7. So really probably I'm looking at maybe an 11 to 7 window for eating.
Okay.
But as far as
Okay, so you're in
I'll
there.
have a meal, and then I'll have a little something. I'm more into eating smaller quantities of more frequently, I guess.
Okay.
So this is this conversation has been a wake up call. I need to pay more attention. Do you guys measure everything? I mean, shoot me now.
Well, that's why I showed you that chart the other week, last week, the plate. And it's very simple without getting out the measuring cups. No, and some people use a scale, and it really is a wake up call. Some of this stuff, you could start to do anytime you want to make a change in your life. You got to put in some effort, right? And do things maybe that you really don't, maybe you don't want to do. Maybe they're a pain in the ass. But then once you understand, it's like BA said, once you start doing it, you train yourself. You get to where you know exactly how much a cup of cottage cheese is, right? You can eye it. It just keeps us from like overeating, and then also keeps us from undereating, right? Because we
Right.
think we're getting all the stuff in, but we're really not. And then you end up being foggy at the end of the day, or or you're not hitting your macros, and you're not making changes in your body that you want to make. So I would say, if you don't want to get out the measuring cup, then just use your hand. Like, so proteins is a palm size. Carbohydrates is like, I think it was like, if you want to use the plate, you can just divide the plate and just do like half your plate is your vegetables and stuff. A quarter up here is your carb, and then the other quarter is your protein, right? So you just sort of eye it, and just like Crystal, it sounds to me like you're not even eating meals. So
I do. I mean, I have a meal in the evening, and I'm trying to eat my main meal more in mid-afternoon.
yeah,
And then, in the morning, like lately, I've been kind of having, I'll make an egg with a little bit of cheese grated on top, and then a good sized handful of mixed greens.
great.
And I think from what you said, that sounds like a good thing.
Yeah,
And then another, protein and vegetable thing, mid-afternoon. So
yeah,
it's probably not as bad as it sounds,
yeah.
but
Well, I would just say that,
I eat kind of like I cook. I don't follow recipes real well.
yeah.
It's kind of I wing it.
Well, I do too, but I would say that just for somebody who has to always go back and forth, sharp, getting more focused in, I would say that, maybe you say for 2 weeks, I'm going to write everything down that I eat, and I'm going to make sure that I'm hitting my 30 grams every meal. So, if you're only going to eat 2 meals a day, then you're going to have to really get creative. You might have to say, look, I got to get another 30 grams in somewhere. Does that mean I got to do some amino acids, or do I need to bite the bullet here and try to get a breakfast in, even though, maybe you stop maybe you push your window, tighten up your window a little bit. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
just
I mean, this has been a good conversation, because it is kind of eye-opening to pay more attention to them. And I track what I eat anyway, because I'm in conversation with my blood sugar, but I don't track quantity so much.
yeah.
But I have reduced how much my quantity.
Yeah.
Portions are huge. I used to do 2 eggs. Now I do 1 egg.
Well, I would say do 2 eggs, and because you're not getting enough protein. One egg is
that would be more protein, and cut back on something else. Yeah.
It's only 6 grams of protein in an egg, so that's like really not that scratching the surface.
Oh.
I mean,
Okay.
sometimes we're not hungry. We got to force a little bit. We got to force our good. We have to kind of juice up our appetite, right? Because sometimes you get really flatlining, and you're not really. There's something wrong with your digestion. There's something wrong with your body if you're not because you're active.
I don't know. I listen to Gene, and I feel like a turtle.
I could barely get on Gene's social counter. I mean, if you don't have a pickleball racket in your hand,
Real.
you ain't
Holy
seen her.
smokes.
Now.
Now. Come on, girl. Okay, I think we got everybody. So, I can't see. I can
I
only
think
see.
Val's on now.
Oh, Val, you on?
I see her.
Yeah,
She
I'm
just
here. I'm just unloading groceries at the same time.
You're doing what?
I'm unloading groceries.
Oh, I'm loading groceries. Got it. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Why don't you share? Do you want to share or you want to just listen?
I'll share just a little bit. I mean, I do intermittent fasting as well. I try to, but
Mm-hmm.
lately I feel like my window gets pushed back and it may not even be beneficial. So I don't really, I do bulletproof coffee in the morning. I also add coconut oil.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's all I have until lunchtime, which
Mm-hmm.
is 12. I'd like it to be 12 if I get a lunch. Between 12 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
But then I end up like after yoga, I still eat something sometimes too, and I have a late night at work, so it ends up being like 8 o'clock before I stop eating. So I don't really know how beneficial it is.
Yeah, that's right. And if you're gonna follow the menopause conversation out there, their doctors now are saying for women, 12 hours is enough. Because if you're
Okay.
cashing in if you're not hitting your protein goals, then that's worse than because and here's the thing too. If you're really into you want to clean your liver, you want to do the autophagy, you want to settle your body down and let your body repair, I
Mhm.
think it's almost better to fast one day.
Yeah, and I would be okay with that. Like I
Not
don't
eat.
really get hungry during the
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. Just like don't eat one
Maybe
day.
I'll try
Just
that.
let your body clean itself. And and then so there's different ways you can slice this intermittent fasting thing. And on here, you can actually click on this tab on intermittent fasting and you can read, where is it? I have a tab on intermittent fasting. It might be on the what should I eat and how much or something, but
Mhm.
it talks about there's different ways to do depending on your goals, you know. Um, you can intermittent fast, you could fast one day a week. You could, just take a look. All this stuff is just, all this stuff is just food for thought and get yourself thinking about what your goals are and trying to really fine tune your diet and your life and your exercise, just we're trying to optimize, right? Because everybody's lifestyle is
Yeah.
different, right? Everybody's digestion's different. Everybody's unique. So, I mean, it's really about optimizing, like doing the best you can. And with information, we can do so much better because we don't know what we don't know. And anytime you get a new piece of information, it's like, oh, wait a minute, that's great. I mean, the main thing is just not to be habitual, right? Just not
Yeah.
being like going along, just thinking, everything's
Yeah.
okay. That really is. It's like, oh, this is what this is about. This is what that's my vision was for the Vitalate is to be a community where we work together a couple of times a year. We like, get ourselves, hey, what are you doing? No, I could do this better. Yeah, maybe I need to put my eye on this again. So, um, that's what this is about. So just take a look at what you're doing but I really will say that I'll stick to my guns on the protein thing because we really have to work to get that number in. Um, and it's going to keep us just active and healthy for the rest of our time here on planet Earth. Because deterioration can come really, it just happens when you're not looking. And you can't work out you can't really work out hard. You can't be doing weights and stuff if you're not, you don't have enough good nutrition. Um, and inflammation is another problem, right? That's going to keep
Mhm.
us in pain. So, um, well, here I would say, like at the end here, unless you guys have any other thoughts, I just wanted to kind of go through, and I was going to make a little list for us, but let's just brainstorm breakfast. I just want to brainstorm breakfast items. So eggs. What else?
Yogurt.
Cottage cheese.
Oats,
Oats.
yeah, and buckwheat,
Okay.
hummus.
I'm going to say
Oh, I never did that for breakfast.
Mm-hmm. See? Lox, smoked salmon.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Okay. Turkey sausage.
A good one.
Um, like protein pancakes.
Yeah.
Um,
Pancakes or waffles.
Or cloud bread. Has anyone done cloud bread?
what's that?
No.
It's actually fun, and it's eggs, and there's varieties that use cottage cheese, and you can also put cheese in it, sausage, whatever, and they're fun to eat.
I think I've seen this in the grocery store, like wraps or something.
No, no, cloud bread is, you do the egg yolks and stuff separately, and then you whip the egg whites and you fold it in. So
It's something you make.
it's something you make. Uh-huh.
Okay. We'll come
What about
if anything else pops up for breakfast, chuck it out. But all right, what about lunch?
Cottage cheese every day.
Maybe I'll learn to like it.
Oh my God. Okay, cottage cheese. Yogurt. Okay. Tuna? Any kind of fish?
quinoa salad with kale or Brussels sprout salad?
Quinoa.
I make chickpea salads where I have like garbanzo beans and like
Yeah.
cucumbers and just a
Yeah.
bunch of vegetables in there with it. And then I make a dressing out of Dijon and apple cider vinegar and herbs,
Yeah.
and I just shake it
Yeah.
up, and it's
Okay.
really good.
I love it.
Chicken. Shrimp. So anything like I'm just trying to think of like just everybody call out like a protein. That's what we're trying to get. These are just proteins first,
Salmon.
right?
Tofu.
Yep.
I eat a lot of venison.
Yay.
I don't know
Bring
how
it
you feel
on.
about that, but
No, that's the best meat. It's clean and
The leanest.
grass fed. Hmm.
clean. What was the other one after venison? Okay. Yeah, so tuna, fish, turkey burgers, like meatballs. Do meatballs. Okay, did I hit everything? Okay, dinner. What do we have for dinner?
Steak.
Steak. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chicken.
Chicken,
Salmon.
salmon.
I made a chickpea and red lentil curry that was really good. So curry like that.
Okay, anything with
protein.
is yummy. So, like chickpea,
Uh-huh.
lentil type stuff, which is all like that's that plant-based protein. Okay. No. Steak, chicken. That's all. I'm making lasagna out of that. So I haven't gotten to dinner yet. So just give me a minute. Steak, chicken, salmon. I was gonna do that chicken that's in the refrigerator. I'm gonna pull that out.
What time?
Come on over. Steak, chicken, salmon, like any kind of chickpea based, lentil based combinations. And you could put like anytime you're doing like a chickpea or a lentil or any of those beans, you can always you want to if you want to max out your your protein, you can pair that with quinoa. right? Because it's a grain and it's a protein. So you always want to think about how to level it up. And then you could add, Jean, what can you add?
Edamame?
Cottage cheese.
Oh, of course. Sorry. I don't know what I was thinking.
Where you come
Plain Greek
on,
yogurt
it's-
instead
You
of
know,
sour
what is
cream.
it edamame for? I don't
right.
know.
Or yogurt. Yeah. And then you just like spice everything up. Okay. So I think we hit that, of course, dinner, of course, anything from the fish category, anything from the shellfish, um, whatever your heart's desires there. Fish, shrimp, scallops.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to get you all to think about always thinking about your protein source at every meal. Like getting that, being really good at that, like diligent. That's the first thing you should think about. Like that's your superstar. And then the rest of it. So now let's go back and
You could add pork, like a pork loin.
oh yeah, pork.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So let's go back now. If we go back to the breakfast thing, so let's see about pairing. So then when you pair it, so you think about, all right, I'm going to have like a way to, so with eggs, what could you pair that with that would be like maybe a vegetable or something clean?
Spinach.
Yep. Like anytime, like sauteed greens,
Yeah.
collard, spinach, astringent greens, great combination with eggs. And then you could even do quinoa. Like I'll do a bowl of quinoa, keep it in my fridge. And
Yeah.
I'll just I'll use that as the bed for I'll do turkey sausage, eggs, and I'll do like collard greens sauteed, and I'll just throw it on top. So everything's like a kind of a bowl of protein vibes, But yeah, sauteed vegetables are great at breakfast. It's a great way to get a vegetable serving in, and it's a nice bed for your protein. And it's good. If you're more in the mood for like a yogurt type breakfast, you could put yogurt on top of oatmeal. Like, so I just take a handful of oats, I cook it, throw it in the microwave, bring it out, plop my cup of yogurt on the top, and right there I have my oats have protein and my yogurt has protein. I'm going to get 25 grams of protein in there, right? And if you don't want to mess with fruit, you can just do a little dribble of like maple syrup or something healthy, or honey on the top of it.
Honey. Yeah. I do that.
Yep. So that's a great breakfast right there. And then you can use, then you can make your, I do a concoction in the morning with like beet juice and AG1, and I told you guys all about that. So I'll do that on the side, and that's sort of a good breakfast if I'm doing that. But you can use any grains as a bed for your eggs. And Maria, you mentioned hummus. I've done that too. Like actually, Paul's mom does hummus in the morning. She'll do that on our toast instead of butter. So you're getting a protein in, you're getting a carb with the, even though hummus is it's kind of a carb because it's a bean, but you're getting protein value. So you could do a really nice homemade sourdough and put some hummus on it and a tomato, and you could do a side of eggs. You could do smoked salmon. Just trying to like broaden out your brain. Like, gosh, it doesn't have to be these standard breakfast things. It can be, and the more you introduce your palate to these different things, like it's really nice. Like you go, wow, this feels really good. And you really feel satisfied. Just try some things, chop up cucumbers and put them on top, do like the sourdough bread and then like hummus and then cucumbers on top with microgreens. And then you can do a side of Jean.
Cottage cheese.
Cottage cheese. I mean, you're golden. It's good. Okay, smoked salmon on top of the sourdough, or you could do smoked salmon right on top of like your microgreens or your sauteed greens. So you guys see where I'm going here. You get your protein, then you think about your bed, like what
you need to show and tell.
Oh yeah. Thank you, Paul. Prop.
Shall I
Um,
get mine?
I mean, hello, Vanna. Yeah, so you get your bed, you think about your bed, what are you gonna put on? Greens or your grain or your triple bed, greens, grain, and then put your protein on top and you are off and running. Same thing with lunch, just think about your bare protein. What are you gonna build around it? You can do again, sides of these, make a nice chickpea salad and that kind of stuff. Chicken, making soups, making shredded chicken, if you want different textures. And if you're trying to go for like, if you want to get more into salads, you can do like, try to do like the astringent green, dark leafy greens. Obviously, spinach is spinach, um, chard, kale, collards. Those are all really good dark greens. And then you just put your protein with it, make your homemade dressing, whatever you like. Meatball. I love making meatballs. I love making just a bunch of meatballs. I keep them in the freezer and then I pull them out and I'll do a combination of my beef. We buy a cow, so it's like the good healthy beef. Mix it up. I'll do turkey and beef at the same. I'll mix those together in a meatball. And then I'll do you can do a tomato sauce or whatever, pile those on top of a grain of choice or on top of some sauteed greens, or it doesn't have to be like spaghetti and meatballs, right? So you just kind of get creative. Like you just pick your protein and look at some recipes or just play, shrimp, chicken, that kind of thing. But think about your pairings. So the next week or so, just think about ways you're going to pair your protein. And then you can always have, again, a side of to bump it up. I'm with you, girl. I buy 3 of these at a time. Love them.
We do too. We do too.
Plow through them. And they're good. I just love it. You can do you can have your chopped vegetables on top, or you can put it in a bowl, or you could do a meatball bowl. You could do meatballs and your grain. And then this is like a little toppy. So good. And then dinner, same kind of vibe as lunch. If you're trying to lighten it up at dinner, which is kind of what we want to do, is try to not do too heavy carbs at dinner because we're slowing down at the end of the day. So maybe you just go vegetables and protein. And then you leave yourself a little room at night if you want to do your little dark chocolate or your little munch of choice. It's okay. Life is too short, man. No good story ever started with a salad. I'm just going to say. So
awesome.
That's my spiel.
Love it.
You guys sound like you're doing really good. Loving it. Okay, so we continue on, right, with our journaling and our eating, really focusing on nutrition, getting that squared away. Exercise, I think everybody's got that down pat by now. Got the playlist. You can pick from there if you need a little something one day. But you gals are so active that I think we all got that. Are we feeling good about all that?
Yeah, I am. Some days feel better than others.
Right.
But for the most part, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And when you say some days are feeling better than others, it's because what do you mean?
I wasn't able to do as much as I would have liked for whatever circumstances came into play.
Right.
So just making sure if I know that I have like a crazy day, then maybe get up an hour early to make sure I don't miss, because then later I'm like tough on myself.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And what I've noticed is just trying not to bite more off than like really just, even if you just walk, I saw it this week. We were watching Maddie and Ethan's dogs, and I just saw what going to their house and back a couple of times pushed me over my 10,000 steps, like up to 14, because it just adds up. So like you can think about it that way. Like if you can't do a whole rigmarole, even if you just did,
oh yeah,
you know how it goes.
I make sure, yeah.
I'm just going to walk to the end of my driveway. I'm going to go run my steps a couple times in the house. I'm going to do a couple jumping jacks. I mean, those are the kinds of things that really add up in the body, and are doing like a calisthenic set, like just maybe when you're it just working in things like you don't have to have special clothes on, it's just
Right.
it really does add up doing stuff like that. Yeah. Because we're busy gals.
For sure.
Jean, how's your pickleball game?
Oh, it has its ups and downs, I
Yeah.
guess I would say.
Are
Every
you
day is a new experience.
are you over at Dildinkles or no?
No, we usually play at the Y in
Okay.
Frederick.
Mhm. So fun. We all need our little thing. All right. Anybody else have anything you want to add in before we close?
No, this is great.
Cool.
Some great ideas and some accountability and
Yes.
uh
I'll need it. I'm getting ready to go meal prep myself now.
Yes.
Chopping.
good stuff. Thanks
Good.
everybody for sharing.
All right. Love
Okay,
love
yeah.
sharing. Y'all have a good one. We'll be in touch this week.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Have a good night,
Thank
all.
you.
Okay.
Everybody.
Good night. Thanks, guys.
Protein.
Protein,
night.
protein, protein.
Thanks.
When in
All
doubt.
When in doubt, protein.
Bye.
All right. Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.
See y'all.
Cracking myself up over here.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Bye.
Bye.